Welcome to the Situation Room. I'm Harry Carwile reporting on infringements committed by Henrico County relating to the rights guaranteed to its residents, specifically those in the Bill of Rights. And with us today we have Alexander Oystese from the Richmond Law Firm to explain to us 5 recent scenarios in which officials in Henrico County have violated the rights of their citizens.
Thank you for having me.
February 16th this year, Henrico resident Landon Berry was detained for hoverboarding through the hallways of Deep Run High School. The school police held him in custody and denied him immediate medical care after he was tackled from the board. Could you explain to us the significance of the situation in relation to the Bill of Rights?
Well, the 8th Amendment in the Constitution explicitly forbids the use of cruel or unusual punishment. Although he wouldn't be allowed to hoverboard in school, he did not pose any threat to students, and the tackle and denial of immediate medical attention are eligible to be constitutionally challenged by Mr. Berry, who now has a twisted ankle.
That's quite frightening, Mr. Oystese. Next scenario. Only 2 days later, on February 18th, Steve Cusack had his home broken into by a local policeman due to noise complaints from various neighbors. What they found was a really nice surround sound speaker that was playing gunshots because Mr. Cusack was watching war movies. Tell us what's wrong with that.
That's an extreme violation of the 4th Amendment, which protects citizens of the United States against unreasonable searches. The police should have stopped at just a warning. Although Mr. Cusack's surround system is extremely cool, his house was illegally broken into.
I literally can't even right now. And only 4 days later, Glendon Perkins set up signs in his front yard that contained very strong Tea Party messages. His neighbors banded together and removed the signs from his yard, and when Glendon brought them to court, the court upheld the neighbors' removal of the signs. I'm not joking. Could you explain to us how Mr. Perkins' personal liberties were violated?
We have this First Amendment, and it guarantees us freedom of speech. Mr. Perkins has the right to put up these signs in his front yard, and the government does not have the right to infringe on his free speech. It's pure insanity to think that this even happened. Are you sure you aren't pulling my leg?
100%. Okay, next scenario. Henrico resident Cole Felton has been taken into custody for Snapchatting a picture of himself wearing a holster complete with a pistol and live ammunition, as they consider it a threat to Henrico County. Would you tell us why Cole is allowed to have this pistol?
Mr. Felton is protected by the Bill of Rights with the Second Amendment, which grants us the right to bear arms. Although his post was a bit sketchy, he is allowed to express himself, and he's also allowed to own these pistols.
Very interesting. And last but not least, Price Marnewalt was thrown in jail last week and released a day later for refusing to answer as to why he was scrubbing park benches with cleaning materials. He simply responded with, quote, "I plead the fifth." Could you explain to us why Mr. Marnewalt did not have to answer the police at the moment and why he was eventually released?
Well, it appears we have someone here who understands the Fifth Amendment, which states that one does not have to answer questions unless under the indictment of a grand jury. Mr. Marnewalt did not have to answer to the police because he was unlawfully seized and questioned by the police without sufficient evidence to put him on trial.
Well, there you have it, folks. A string of constitutional violations towards the citizens of Henrico County. Tune in next time to find out who will be held responsible. And Mr. Oystese, thank you for joining us tonight.
It was my pleasure.